We are just hours away from the Iowa caucuses, and candidates are giving their last stump speeches. And we're getting in our last poll numbers. Donald Trump has widened his lead over Ted Cruz to 7 points. That's according to the new Quinnipiac University poll out this morning. But it's a tightening race on the Democratic side. The latest poll of likely caucus goers has Sanders 3 points ahead of Hillary Clinton. So will he turn that lead into a win in Iowa tonight? Jeff Weaver is campaign manager for Bernie Sanders. He's in Des Moines. Jeff, great to see you today.
Thanks for being here. Nice to be here.
On what does the win rest? And what's it going to take to turn support into votes?
Well, look, this race is going right down to the wire. I mean, it's neck and neck. I mean, that poll you decided had us up 3 points. There was a poll from the Des Moines Register on Saturday that had us down 3 points. So the race really is going right down to the wire here in Iowa. It's hard to imagine a tighter race than this one. So it's going to be a matter of getting our voters out, getting them to come to the caucus tonight. And if we do that, we'll win. And if not, we'll struggle. That's just the truth of it.
There's been a lot of speculation from political insiders that Bernie Sanders is trying to replicate the success that Barack Obama had in the 2008 race in Iowa. For instance, his campaign managed to turn to their advantage this doubling in turnout among Democratic registered voters. In 2008, that was 40% of registered Democrats. Can the Sanders campaign do that?
Well, I'm not sure that we can match President Obama's historic campaign. I mean, that campaign, I think, is one for the record books. But we do want to get the attendance up substantially over what happened in 2004. And if we do that, we're going to have success tonight here in Iowa. But right now, I mean, people in Iowa should know, who have an interest in this race, who are interested in Senator Sanders and his views and want to see his political revolution start here in Iowa and sweep across the country. People have to come out to the caucus tonight. That's really the truth. I mean, this really could be lost by just a handful of votes.
This Quinnipiac poll also shows that among likely first-time caucus goers, so they've never been involved in the caucus process before,
right?
Bernie Sanders wins by a big margin here, 62% to 35% among these first-timers.
Yes.
Also interesting is there's a big gender gap here. Men back Sanders over Clinton, 63% to 32%. But how does he try to ensure that he's got the support of women moving forward, who are so important to overall success in this process?
Well, certainly, and you know, he has been speaking to issues of importance to women, but I have to tell you, I mean, if you look at younger women, I think you'll also see that by and large he has support. He's winning among younger women as well. So women are not a monolithic group, just like any other group is not a monolithic group. And so I think if you look at subsets of women in terms of age, you'll see younger women are supporting him. But you know, we're speaking very strongly to the economic problems faced by women in this country, the need for family and medical leave, paid family and medical leave, the need for health care for all, the need to not only defend Social Security, but to expand it and to extend the life of it for years and years to come. So I think these very important economic issues will resonate and are resonating, frankly, with women in Iowa and across this country.
Can we talk a little bit about money here? Coming off great
Sure.
headlines about January, bringing in a lot of money.
Yes.
Does what happens in Iowa matter to your fundraising for February?
Well, certainly, you know, with strong performance here, we'll have a positive impact on fundraising. I don't think that's any big secret. But I have to tell you that one of the things that's been most gratifying about this campaign, and the Senator Sanders is really revolutionizing how you fund a campaign in this country, and that is a campaign that's funded by grassroots support, average contribution less than $30, coming largely over the internet. I mean, this is really revolutionizing the way we do politics. I mean, he's showing that you can run a competitive presidential campaign without begging money from Wall Street and billionaires or relying on super PACs, and so that's quite a revolution.
Jeff, he also has changed tactics a little bit when it comes to Hillary Clinton's email. We talked about this over the weekend, you and I, but at the beginning of that first Democratic debate, he said America was sick about hearing of Hillary Clinton's emails. Now he's bringing it up. He says it's a problem. Why is he going negative on this particular issue?
Okay, well, let's be clear about what's going on here. he is asked every day by people at CBS and all the other media about Hillary Clinton's emails. And then he says, it's an important issue that's being dealt with. I don't want to talk about your emails. And then you and other people report that he's talking about the emails and bringing it up. The truth is, he's not bringing it up. The media brings it up. He tries to push it off. And then when he responds to questions, they say he's bringing it up. So, that's a Clinton campaign narrative fed in by the media, which is trying to generate a false conflict. And, I reject that 100%.
Well, just to be clear, when he was asked about being a socialist Democrat, and he stepped aside that question to bring up Hillary Clinton's email. So that, in that case, he did bring it up.
The point there was that I think that was George Stephanopoulos. George Stephanopoulos was bringing up something that George perceived as a liability, which is, the truth of the matter is not a liability, because in every interview, including this one, people bring up that he's a Democratic socialist, nothing that he hides from. Everybody knows it, and he's still winning in the head-to-heads against the Republicans. And so he raised, an issue with the secretary that some people perceive as a liability. That was the point of that, not really to talk about the emails.
All right, so tonight, weather, is it a factor at all in turnout?
Well, there was some scare here about a big blizzard coming in. It looks like that is going to hold off until tomorrow. So the weather should be good here in Iowa, and that should, lead to a higher turnout.
All right, we are looking forward to seeing how things progress at the Iowa caucuses. Jeff Weaver, thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate being here.